Will you be trying for another baby soon? What if Lavender turns out to be a furry? So I hope you guys enjoyed that little segment of silent cleaning. It's actually 2 days later, and we bought a coffee grinder. If you're wondering why, it's because I convinced Josh to get rid of our expensive machine, as you guys saw. He regrets it, I don't. I think it was a smart decision because the amount of coffee that we drink, that machine would have had to do like 6 cups of coffee at once, okay? And our travel mugs didn't fit under it. It was just not good. So we got our coffee machine, which you guys saw. It's like a $40 cheap coffee machine. And we usually got our beans from Costco. And at our Costco, they have a coffee grinder there. So we would just grind them on the way out and leave. Well, yesterday, I decided to buy this new coffee. It's Canadian maple. And I was so excited to grind it up on my way out. So I pay for it. I'm walking out, and the grinders are nowhere to be found. So I go up to a worker, and I'm like, hi, where are your coffee grinders? Like, where'd they go? She's like, yeah, we got rid of them, sorry. I literally went there a week ago. There's no signs, no nothing. So a lot of people are screwed because a lot of people would buy their whole beans there, grind them up, go home. Now we have nowhere to grind our beans. So now we have to buy a stupid thing. And now Josh is like, well, look at that. Our old machine grinded the beans in the machine, and we didn't have to clean it. Now I have to clean this, and I have to clean the coffee machine. And now we have 2 things on our counter. So I want to grind these beans because they're so bomb, and I want Josh to try them. But now that we're drinking black coffee, I kind of want you to try just one cut, like one sip. Like I want to make it with cream and sugar just to see what it tastes like.
Can I burn?
Sure. It's the only time she's happy right now. So, all right. Now we have more things on our counter, which is actually really annoying. Our counters look awful right now.
No, they look terrible. I hate the fruit thing out.
Well, we have to have fruit.
The oil on the freaking stove.
Well, we have to dump that.
It's a freaking disaster. I hate it.
Okay, what do you think? What? This is going to take forever to grind a whole
Yeah, I
bag.
know. You don't grind it back. I was looking. So everybody, they say...
Grind it, then put it in, then...
Yes, grind it for the day. Is the best way to get the freshest most high quality
So
coffee.
we will measure 45 grams on the scale.
Yeah.
Then grind it, and then we can just put that straight into the coffee machine.
Yeah, so it's just one extra step now. A couple extra steps, but sorry.
So now what?
So now we're screwed. And there's French press, pour over. It's not pour over for sure.
No, we
drip.
Drip.
Yeah. So it's right on drip already.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my god.
This is a lot smaller than I thought, though. He's very upset with me.
I'm not upset. It's just
Dumb.
it's just like a nuisance now.
You're a nuisance.
Yeah, I know that, but
and you're still here.
I can admit it. You're not admitting to it.
All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little segment. I know that vlog is very weird. It's silent in the beginning, and then I'm talking about randomly a coffee grinder, and now here I am. But I recorded a lot of my Vlogmas at the end of November, so that I was a couple days ahead in December. It's more of just like a random silent morning routine with a get ready with me. So we're gonna do a get ready with me. Right now I currently don't have any water in my house, so I'm not gonna be able to wet my beauty blender properly or anything. So I'm gonna do like a quick little makeup thing. I do have eyelash extensions on. I just put them on, and I'm gonna use my Clinique Moisture Surge face spray, which, by the way, I love this stuff, especially after you put your lotion on. It's awesome, but I'm going to use it for my beauty blender. But we're going to do a little Q&A. I feel like I do Q&As over on Patreon all the time, and I haven't really done much over here on YouTube. By the way, if you really enjoy things like Get Ready With Me's and stuff like that, over on Patreon in 2025, I am doing 2 free lives a month. So it is completely free to sign up to be a Patreon member. You get to join a live and talk to me one-on-one, and I literally see every single comment on there because there's only usually under 100 people. So I see all comments, and I end up getting to know your name and knowing things about you. So if you guys want to go over to Patreon right now, it is completely free to sign up, and starting in 2025, I will be doing 2 free lives over there a month. So you can just pop in, say hi, whatever you want. And if you are interested in buying my Patreon right now, it is 35% off with the code HOLIDAY if you sign up for an annual membership for 2025. So just thought I would let you guys know. And if you do sign up for that, you get all of the previous stuff plus everything in 2025. So you get over 600 literal posts, 600. And a lot of those are lives and videos. You have hours and hours and hours of content over there, all accumulated over 4 years. So check that out, and let's get into this Get Ready With Me. Someone said, are you truly happy, Karlee? I am so happy. I think, honestly, ever since meeting Josh, I feel like my life is just so much happier. To say that the people around you doesn't really have an impact on your mental health would just be false. So personally, I feel like ever since meeting Josh, I am just so happy. I feel like a different person. And I definitely super happy. I have everything I could ever ask for and more. I have an amazing husband. I have an awesome daughter who's healthy and here, and I love it. I honestly am so happy. I would say I'm the happiest I've ever been. Have you experienced postpartum hair loss? I'm 3 months postpartum and really scared. Yes, it actually kicked in at 3 months postpartum, or maybe a little bit after that. And I am still losing hair to this day. I don't know. I have a lot of hair to lose, so honestly, I don't really get that thinning look that most people get. I have so much hair. But yes, I have lost so much hair. I'm going to put some pictures here of just after the shower. I lost so much hair. I'm still losing hair. It definitely is slowing down now that I'm 6 months postpartum, but it's still there. I think the peak was like 5 months postpartum. No, 4 months postpartum. It was the absolute worst. Just horrible. But yes, I lose a lot of hair. Don't fall for those gimmicks where it's like, oh, take this supplement and it will stop it. So the reason why your hair falls out postpartum, it's completely normal. There's certain hormones when you're pregnant that stops your hair cycles from going in a full cycle. So it grows and then it falls out, and then it grows and it falls out. So basically it stops your hair cycles and it just grows, and it doesn't really shed as much as it should because of those hormones. So after you give birth and your hormones drop, which is around 3 months postpartum, your hair is going to fall out. This is hair that was supposed to fall out if you weren't pregnant anyways. So it's going to look like a lot. It's going to look like you're losing all of your hair. It's the hair that was supposed to fall out while you were pregnant. It wasn't. And that's why you have such thick hair when you're pregnant. Now, this is all hormonal. It doesn't have anything to do with anything else. There could be some nutrient stuff in it if you're like anemic or something, but most of it is hormonal, and it's unavoidable. You can try all of the serums that you want. You can try all of these biotins and skin, hair, and nails vitamins, it's not going to work. It might be a placebo in your head that it's going to work, but it's not going to work because it is hormonal. And the only way to stop it is if you got pregnant again. So don't freak out. It is normal. It will grow back, and it is hair that was supposed to follow anyways. So don't you worry, please. My favorite ever sunscreen. This is the best sunscreen for your face literally ever. It's Good Molecules. They actually sent me a PR package a while ago, and I've been repurchasing it ever since. And usually most of my PR packages, I kind of use it up and then I don't really care for it. But Good Molecules is actually one of the brands that I really, really, truly love their skincare. Not sponsored in any way. Actually bought this myself. And it is sheer mineral sunscreen, SPF 30. It sits so beautifully by itself. And it also sits really beautifully under makeup. So beautifully. It's thin. It's not super thick. It doesn't leave a white sheer. I'm going to rub it in and show you. It's my favorite. Actually, when Nick was here, he was asking for a good sunscreen and showed him this one, and I put some on his hand for him to try. And he was like, oh, I love it. There's no sheer. I really don't like fragranced stuff. There's a lot of fragrance in the foundation I use. Don't forget your neck and your chest. You know how they always say if you want to know someone's age, look at their neck. Look at their chest and their hands. The reason is because those are always exposed to the sun, and people always forget to put sunscreen on them. I used to have sunscreen in my car, and I would spray my hands whenever I drove because people don't realize your hands are going to age so much quicker. Next question. I'm just rambling. What would you say to the people who told you just wait now that you know it's true? I don't really necessarily agree with this comment. I don't really think the just waits were true, to be honest. I didn't like it because I felt like every single time I told somebody I was pregnant, it was always negative. It was never, they're like, oh, sleep now because you can't sleep later. And it's like, we know that. Everyone pregnant knows that newborns and babies don't sleep. We all know that. And so I don't really like that comment. I think it's like kind of rude. I wish that people were like, just wait till they smile at you for the first time, because there's so many more positive things to motherhood, in my opinion, than there is negative. And I would take these sleepless nights over and over and over again just to have her and see her smile. I could be absolutely exhausted all night, and the moment she wakes up and gives me a smile, I'm just in the best mood possible. So what I have to say is that stop saying just wait to people. Personally, I think it's so negative, and I just don't want to hear all the negative things. I don't really care for them. It's just worth every single sleepless night. And so that's all I have to say about that. Are you still an oversupplier, or has your milk adjusted? So my milk, actually, I created my own oversupply because I was latching. I was exclusively breastfeeding her and then pumping as an extra. So my body thought that lavender was eating everything she was eating plus what I was pumping. So I was basically producing enough milk for 2 babies. I would feed her all day at the breast, and then I would pump about 20 to 30 extra ounces a day, which is a whole nother baby's amount of food. And I created my own oversupply, and it didn't stop until I stopped pumping. And that was a decision that I just made for my mental health. And I kept getting mastitis, which if you've ever had mastitis, it is absolutely horrible. You wake up, you have a little sore lump in your boob, and then in hours you have a fever, you have chills, it's like a whole thing. I felt like I had over like 3,000 ounces in the fridge of milk, and I was never giving her bottles because I was never away from her. And I just felt like I was also very, very hungry, to the point where like, I couldn't focus on things because I was so ravenous. And I felt like attached to the pump, and I was tired of cleaning all the parts. And so I just kind of gave up, and I stopped pumping, I would say, at 4 months postpartum, or maybe 4.5, and I just continued to exclusively breastfeed her. I haven't pumped since, so I actually don't know how much I would be able to pump right now, but because milk is supply and demand, I assume I would only be able to pump how much she's eating, because I haven't pumped any other extra. The way that I built my oversupply, which I can make a whole video on that maybe on Patreon. I don't really want to talk about it too much on YouTube, just because it's not really, you don't really want to create your own oversupply. It could be there could be a lot of negatives to an oversupply that people don't talk about for you and your baby. And so I don't really want to promote creating your own oversupply, but I did create my own oversupply, and I do have tips, and it will work every time. If you would like to know that, I can make a Patreon video about it and maybe link you guys to that Patreon video for free. I just don't feel like putting it out on YouTube for it to be searchable, because I just don't want to be liable for people getting mastitis and stuff. But hey girl, how do you handle your body after having lavender? I struggle so much. That is a very good question. So honestly, I feel like I was expecting my body to change more than it did. I know that sounds crazy. I fit in my pre-pregnancy jean shorts and jeans within, I think, 3 weeks, but The only thing I didn't fit in was bras and tops because my boobs were so big. That being said, I do have significant stretch marks, which I knew was gonna happen because it's genetic and I've always had stretch marks. I've never been significantly overweight and I've always had stretch marks just from like growth spurts or puberty. And so I knew I was gonna get stretch marks, so I was kind of mentally prepared for that. And that does bother me a little bit, but luckily I have a great husband who has never made me not feel like the most sexiest person to walk this earth. So that helps. And honestly, I think what really helps is finding new ways to make yourself feel pretty or taking care of yourself internally, reminding yourself that you grew a human life and that it was worth it all because you have this beautiful child out of it. And then also, I think what helped me is working out during pregnancy. I know you don't want to hear that. I know that a lot of people hate hearing that, but I truly think that working out during pregnancy made my stomach really go back to normal, and maybe the fact that I had lipo before, probably that. I do struggle with it sometimes, but not too often because I just don't think about it, honestly. It's like, I just realized, why am I stressing over something that I literally have no control over anyways? What if Lavender turns out to be a furry? Well, if she wants to be an animal, then she can go live in a barn. That's a joke. Well, is it a joke? No. More info on how you're trying baby-led weaning, trying to figure it out with my 5-month-old. So I'm actually doing a hybrid approach of baby-led weaning and purees. And I could totally do a whole video talking about it. And I also have an app that really helps me, which I will also talk about in the future. So don't worry, there will be a whole thing talking about that probably within the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for that. Ooh, this is a good question. Will you be trying for another baby soon? So I've been having some mixed emotions about this. If I could just not worry about anything and just have one right now, I would. The only reason why I feel like I shouldn't have another baby right now is because I was already pregnant back-to-back 2 years in a row. And I never really gave my body the time to recover. Mind you, I didn't know I was going to get pregnant with Lavender, but I only had a 3-month span. I literally I gave birth vaginally 2 times in a year and a week. Luca was born May 4th and Lavender was born May 26th. So literally a year later. So I literally gave my body no time to recover, and my iron is so low. I physically feel worn out. I feel like my body's exhausted. I feel like I haven't really had time to absorb my own nutrients. I'm also still breastfeeding, which is very exhausting for my body, you know, feeding someone all of the nutrition they need, and it's coming from me. And as someone who eats McDonald's, I don't really have much to give her. Just kidding. But yeah, I want another baby really soon. I would love them to be close in age. None of me and my siblings are very close in age, so I would love for her to have that experience. And I just don't think for my mental health or my body that it's healthy right now. And I want to be able to give your next baby the healthiest version of me when carrying them. So right now, it's not really sure when I want another baby. I think I'm just going to kind of feel like when I know I'm ready is when I'm going to know. Mentally, I'm ready. I'm like, oh, I want another baby stat. I love being pregnant. I love being a mom. But physically, I don't think I am physically ready to have another pregnancy right now. Okay, I'm going to do one more question and then we're going to be done. I love this. Maybe I should do more little Q&As inside of my vlogs. So these are 2 questions, but I'm going to answer them kind of at the same time. So someone says, is the home you are in now your forever home? And did you own your current home by yourself before you and Josh were together? Yes, so I bought this house literally right before I think we got together by myself. And is this home my forever home? I'm not really sure about that. I do love this house. So I know it's very deceiving on camera, but my house is actually 5 bedroom, 3 bathroom, and there's 2 living spaces also, which is really cool, and a 2-car garage, and I have a pretty big backyard. So I have a lot of room in this house, and that's something I'm very thankful for. I feel very lucky for that. And my location is pretty nice. I'm like on the main road of my city, and I have a grocery store right literally beside me. I can walk there in probably about 50 steps, literally. So I love the location. I also grew up in this neighborhood, so I know it very well. I don't love the layout of my house, but I do like how much room I have. I love that it's brand new. And there's a lot of things I love about this house. But that being said, are some things that I wish I could get, which I think everyone has this issue, like with their house, right? Like no one's house is ever perfect. Right now, I don't really have any interest in moving. If I found the right house for the right price on the market, I totally would move. I'm not 100%, like, can't really describe it. I'm not like willing to move, but I'm also not 100% knowing if I want this to be my forever home. So I'm kind of so good if this is for my forever home. I'm more than blessed and content to be here forever, and it can totally work. I could have up to 4 kids in this house, so I feel super blessed. But at the same time, I also feel like I would love maybe a house kind of more in the country with more land. And right now I'm in an HOA, which is a homeowners association, and I would prefer to be in a house where I don't have any rules and regulations and I can kind of do what I want with my property. So yeah, I'm not really sure. I would be more than okay if this was my forever home. But I am very young and I never know where life's gonna take me. So yeah, I guess my answer to that is I'm not sure. But if this was my forever home, I would not be upset. All right, we're gonna put on lipstick and then we're gonna end out this vlog. I am using Soar. All right, and I'm gonna curl my hair, but I'm sure you guys don't care about me curling my hair. I need to get my highlighter back. I don't know where I put it. I used Rare highlighter and it's just gone, so I'm not really sure where that went. Anyways, love you guys, and thank you guys so much for watching Vlogmas, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.